Welcome to the Sanctuary. I'm Kyle, and I'm here to tell you, never be afraid to step into the pleasure den of the absurd. It's Monster Monday. And again, yes, that's right. That's right. This is where we celebrate the great film genre known as the monster movie. It's October, beginning of Halloween season. So not only is there going to be Monster Monday, but we're going to be doing videos about all kinds of weird and mystical and sci-fi and horror stuff for the great season of Halloween. And what better film to start this season off with than this one? Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein, one of the granddaddy comedy horror films of all time. Yes, that's right. From 1948. I do believe Abbott and Costello were in some trouble at this time. Their movies weren't doing too good. And Universal Pictures, their monster series had effectively ended in 1945 with both the House of Frankenstein and then the House of Dracula. And with a pair like this, comedy pair like this, you want to team them up with some of your other franchise films. And they paired them up with Count Dracula, Frankenstein's monster, and the Wolfman, and a surprise monster at the end. So when I was a kid growing up, every Sunday morning, Channel 11 WPIX would show Abbott and Costello movies. And this one was on often, and it was great. I mean, as a kid, I loved all of the Universal monsters, any kind of monsters we could get. But there's something special about these monsters because you had actor Glenn Strange coming back to play Frankenstein's monster, which he had done in the last movies, House of Dracula and House of Frankenstein. And this is the only time, the second time, that Bela Lugosi played Count Dracula. He played Count Dracula in the original 1931 version. And this is the only time after that that he ever played that character again. And you also have the great Lon Chaney reprising his role as Larry Talbot, a.k.a. the Wolfman. So, in this film, Abbott and Costello play baggage handlers who receive these large crates, and the local House of Horrors, like Wax Museum type of place, had purchased them and had them shipped over, and afraid that they might be damaged because of their antics, Mr. McDougal, the owner of these items, says, I want them delivered tonight, and I'm going to have my insurance person inspect them, so, you're going to be liable for any damages. And so they deliver them, and inside those crates is Dracula, who is alive, and he is able to hypnotize Lou Costello, and while Bud Abbott is off doing something else. And so he's able to get Frankenstein's monster out of his crate and take off. And, here comes Bud, and Lou's all like, comes back to life, and trying to tell him what happened, and he doesn't believe him. Here comes McDougal, and the crates are empty, and now these guys get put in jail, and a mysterious person, gets them out of jail. And it's Lou's girlfriend, who is a doctor. And she's working with this mad scientist who, along with Dracula, the plan is to put a new brain into the Frankenstein monster. Somebody who can take orders, who can't think for himself. A dope! And who better to do it than Lou Costello? But there's somebody else who's on those monsters' tail. And that's Larry Talbot, the Wolf Man. He knows what was in those crates, and he's trying to get Bud and Lou to listen to him and say, hey, there's danger afoot here. So they're all in this weird castle together, and the experiment is going to take place. But the moon turns full. Larry Talbot turns into the Wolfman, and the monster battle begins. You got Frankenstein's monster chasing Abbott Costello around, and you got the Wolfman fighting Bela Lugosi, and it's just a hilarious movie. It really is. It works really Bela Lugosi, of course, is always good. I love Lugosi, and Lon Chaney is always very good. Great actor, and the comedy works, and it really is just funny the way Abbott and Costello play off each other and with the monsters. I mean, you could really tell that they were kind of loose with the script. The original script, by the way, the original treatment, Lou Costello just absolutely refused to do. He's like, my 6-year-old kid could write something better than this. But they pulled it off in 1948. Oh, and by the way, so there, of course, the castle has to be surrounded by water, so the only way to escape is via a rowboat. And while the castle is, burning down, and Abbott and Costello make their getaway, a voice is heard. And I do believe they light a cigarette. And it's Vincent Price, who introduces himself as the Invisible Man. If you saw this movie way back in the day on television, it's just as good as you remember it. If you've never seen it and want to see what it's all about for yourself, I urge you to do so. It's not the first horror comedy that was ever made, but it certainly is one of the most beloved and one of the most memorable. So, with that, I want to thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a like. And if you have not, please subscribe to the channel. And, if you like what we do, which is just set the camera down, I look into it, hold stuff up, and talk about it, well, that's what you get when you visit the pleasure den of the absurd.